Hi McDowell Middle School Class of 2026. This is Mrs. Kilday. I hope you've already had an opportunity to view the lesson from Mr. Hyde that gave you a brief overview and possibly review of ecosystems. Towards the end of his video, he may have talked a little bit about biomes. Today, I'm going to continue on that conversation and give you a little more information to let you know what it is that makes up a biome. Today, my major focus is going to be the biomes found on land. There are also biomes that are found in water or aquatic biomes. If you're curious and want to learn a little bit more about these aquatic biomes, both fresh and salt water, please watch the video that you will find attached to the plan book. So I'm going to go ahead and get us started on biomes. Biomes are defined as a large, distinct, complex community of plants created and maintained by a climate. Notice that there is a focus on plants because we're going to learn as we move through our unit that plants are one of the major parts of an ecosystem that help to sustain all other parts of life. So don't think that you're just going to find plants in an ecosystem. You're going to find all kinds of organisms in an ecosystem. Biomes. Well, how do we determine one biome from another? Because as we're going to learn, there are multiple biomes that are found on the Earth's surface. Well, scientists determine what makes up a biome by its rainfall and the temperature. These biomes have to be life-sustaining, which means they need to be able to have life occur there on its own without any human interaction. Also, biomes change over time. They are not a constant. They evolve and they change, and they can be altered by humans. Now, one thing that we know as we collect data is that rainfall varies around the planet. So take a look at this visual of rainfall around the planet. Take a second and make some observations. What do you notice about the rainfall? Is there any trends in the rainfall? If you want, go ahead, pause this video, and take a look and ask yourself, what do you notice? Feel free to look in the lower left-hand corner. There's a key. It'll give you a little more information about what the color coding of this means. Hopefully, one of the things that you notice is that the rainfall of the Earth, where it is in great amounts, tends to be clustered together, and where we have smaller amounts of rainfall are clustered together as well. There are areas of our Earth that receive a lot of rainfall and areas of our Earth that do not receive a lot of rainfall. And this is going to be important because remember, one of the characteristics of a biome is going to be the amount of rainfall that it receives. Now, today I'm going to move into talking about 6 major biomes of the Earth. Here we are looking at a graph. Taking a look at our graph, you will see that there are the 6 major biomes on the Earth's surface listed, as well as a visual to show you inches of rain that fall per year in that area. Now this is an average, but go ahead and take a look. Hopefully, just like when you were looking at the color coding of the Earth's surface, you're going to notice that there are some trends in the rainfall per year. Now, we talked about scientists looking at biomes based on rainfall and climate. There are some other pieces that all biomes share. They are large areas of the Earth. They have a similar predictable climate. They have similar plant life. They have similar soils. And they also have similar amounts of sunlight. You'll notice from our visuals here that we can see that determining by where you are on the Earth's surface is how much sun rays shine upon a biome. Now, there's a general rule for our biomes, and that is that the higher rainfall we have and the higher the average temperature in a biome is, the larger the plants that the biome can support. So what are the 6 major biomes of the world? Well, let's talk about that. We have a biome of the world called the tundra. Now you've probably heard the word tundra before, and I'm sure that there are some images that already are flashing into your mind about the tundra. Then we have something called the taiga, which is also sometimes known as the boreal forest. Then we have the temperate or the deciduous forest. This would be the type of biome that we find mostly here in the state of Michigan. Another biome that we have on our Earth's surface is the desert, followed by our grassland areas and tropical rainforests. Now, when looking at these, do you notice any trends in the biome? So again, go ahead, take a minute, feel free to pause the video and take a look. You'll notice that there's a key in the upper right hand corner showing you a little bit about the type of climates that we see. So if we have red, this is going to be a very hot and humid, a dry climate. If you see kind of an orange here, we find more of a dry climate, similar to a desert. Then we have a mild climate, then a continental climate, polar climates, and then finally our mountain areas. As you're looking at the map and noticing trends, I'm going to go ahead and start moving through. Let's start with taking a look at our tropical climates. Here we see them in the red area, and they tend to be closer to our equator. That's where we find our hot and humid areas. Now remember, the larger trees and larger amounts of animal life are going to be found in these hotter and humid climates. Next, take a look at our dry climates. Notice we're moving out from the equator on both sides, nearing the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. Moving further away from the equator, that's where we're going to find our more mild climates. Continue on all the way for our polar climates. And then finally, some of our mountainous areas at the very top and bottom of our Earth's surface. So how are biomes impacted? Well, they're impacted by temperature and rainfall. So taking a look at our graphic, stop for a minute and notice what are some of the trends that you're seeing. One of the ways that I want to look at this graphic is I'm going to start here at the warm deserts. So notice that underneath the warm deserts, I find the word dry and warm. What that tells me is biomes that tend to be dry or have very little rainfall, as well as tend to be warm, so have a higher temperature, are going to be classified as warm deserts. As I start moving through the rainfall and move from a more dry to a wet climate, you will notice that I move from a rainforest to a tropical grassland, savanna, to a tropic deciduous forest, and finally a tropical rainforest. I can also move up the graphic. So if I have a wet area that starts to become warmer, I might find something more like a temperate deciduous forest. Now maybe you're wondering, when I just talked previously, I only went over 6 major biomes, but when I'm looking at this graph, there's definitely more than 6. Well, that is because scientists sometimes further divide biomes depending by the temperature and rainfall. For what we're going to cover in 6th grade, you don't need to get into more than just the 6 major biomes, but it's good for you to be aware that 6 is what scientists say at large, but they can divide them down even further. Now, you're going to notice here there's a visual of the YouTube link that is linked on our plan book. So after you've gone through this PowerPoint, that was a lot of information to take in. So we're going to ask you to go ahead as part of your follow-up activity for today. Go ahead and watch this YouTube video. It's going to help you out by showing you more visuals of the plants and the animals and giving a little bit more of further explanation of these different biomes of the world. Also, you're going to find that there still is 75% of the Earth's surface that myself and Mr. Hyde in this video haven't even touched on. And that's going to be our aquatic biomes. So our marine biomes are aquatic biomes, so both fresh and salt water cover 3/4 of our globe. So I've included a video on that. Feel free to take a look if you would like. In case you were wondering, well, how is it that you can look at the video? If you go to the plan book link, and look under Thursdays, continuous learning, you are going to see that there is a link for the biome videos as well as a link for the aquatic videos. Please be sure that you click and answer the exit ticket question for us today. Also, if you're looking for something fun to do to follow up, we've included a follow-up activity for you, and it's a matching activity. So when you go ahead and download that, you are going to see a variety of plants and animals, and you're going to try to match which biomes they match up to. That is completely up to you if you'd like to do that today for fun or not. If you'd like to review and go back over the biome presentation, it is linked down here. Feel free to go ahead and do that. Oh, here, I'll give you a little bit of visual. So if you want to see that matching game, feel free. You're going to see a bunch of different animals, and here in the middle you're going to see those biomes that are matched. It's going to be easiest to do this after you have watched both videos. If you haven't watched the videos, you haven't had an opportunity yet to see the plants and animals. So please make sure, if you're interested in completing that activity, that you watch that video. Again, the video, please do watch the videos. The matching activity is up to you, and just make sure that you get into that exit ticket so Mr. Hyde and I have a little bit of feedback on what you are thinking about those biomes. Talk to you later. Bye.